Welcome, babbling heretics and doomed sinners, to a surprise Danger Club edition of MÖRK BORG.
Hey! MÖRK BORG.
The game where poor, unfortunate souls desperately hurl themselves at Apocalypse's feet, and where carrion birds pick away at the remains of their character sheet. We had a bit of a surprise hiccup in the recording schedule, so like a fevered priest of the two-headed basilisk, I locked myself away in my dank and fetid chambers for a day and a night and learned a new game for us to play. This is the result, and these three are the brave or foolish wanderers that will be flaying corpses or fleeing for their lives in this heavy metal, multiple ENnie award-winning game that we will play for the next couple of hours. Introducing themselves, these familiar faces are...
Colin.
Dan.
Ross.
Why did you pause, Ross?
Don't know, why not? Yeah, dramatic. Who could
I
it
quite
be?
liked it. I quite liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the worst introduction I think we've ever done for ourselves.
Yeah.
Usually we're like, oh yeah, it's me. Hey, yeah.
Yeah, that was really pretty bad.
You guys are my Charlie's Angels. I was up quite late last night putting the finishing touches to this, and I had to crash this game in a very short amount of time, even though it is rules light. So bear with us, Dangerlings. Also, bear with us because Dan has actual COVID and has bravely brought himself to his keyboard anyway, despite the illness, which is kind of Mork Borg anyway. And also, don't forget to bear with Ross, but that's just for the usual and glaringly obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So guys, welcome. Did you know that MÖRK BORG, which I think I'm pronouncing right because it's got an umlaut, and I'm pretty sure that I'm using the Björk rule here. So MÖRK BORG, right? I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
It means Dark Fort.
Dark Fort, eh?
Dark Fort, yeah, the Dark Fort. It's written by Pell Nielsen and Johan Nur of Occult, Marstar Games and Stockholm Cartel. Winning Best Writing, Best Layout and Design, Product of the Year, Best Supplement, Best Online Content. But enough about me.
He's back. There we go.
Yeah. So guys, how do you feel about stepping into the dungeons of the OSR, which is twisted to fit a Swedish flail while doom metal plays in the background?
Yeah, I looked at the rule book, and like it's got some amazing art in it, and it beautifully like it won the award for it. It's beautifully designed as well. So I'm interested to see, like, it's quite interesting that they're like, yeah, it's very dark, but it's also like we also want to focus on humor as well and comedy as well, which is, you know, our forte. Which is great.
It is.
It feels like a Rick and Morty game. Do you know what I mean? It feels like a Rick and Morty episode.
Right.
Like it's quite post-apocalyptic, funny, but like quite dark and twisted as well at the same time.
Yeah. It is like, you know, the dimension that Rick's picked just to be edgy, as just the edgiest dimension he could ever find.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, and yeah, it has got like that decidedly, and it sounds like a criticism, and it's not, decidedly one note graphic design, but in that note is exceedingly successful at what it intends to do. You cannot really look at the book or the website. You can just flick to any just random one page, and you kind of will know what the game is entirely about just by looking at one page. It succeeds in what it sets out to do, and I've noticed just a swell and a trend of people like praising it, including people on our own Discord, by the way. So if you did chime in to switch over to Patreon, I mean, I'm going to advertise the hell out of this anyway. So So yeah, surprise, we're doing it. Ha, lol. Be careful what you say in the Discord; it might come true. But yeah, people have been saying like, and it was interesting. I've noticed is that it favors like dip-ins and one-shots, to the point where I'm not sure how many people play a full campaign of it. Mainly because they likely go insane, but partially because I'm noticing videos being like, oh, if you want to play MÖRK BORG for like campaign play, as if it's not the initial option. Like it seems to be the secondary option that people choose.
Don't you get like if it's a campaign, you get more like you don't level up, but you get more omens or something a day or something like.
Oh yeah, omens. The omens. Yeah. You get more omens. I just realized I forgot to do something with Dan.
Oh no.
I just made my character, everybody. I've been under a blanket for the last week, and I'm still partially under a blanket, so I have no idea what to expect on this. I'm completely new to this game. It feels like there's going to be shouting involved, which I'm not physically capable of right now.
I messaged Dan yesterday, and he was just like, "I'm under a blanket, so I'm good."
That's my bar right now.
Yeah.
So what are omens important, or is it better to explain those later?
I'm going to explain them. I'm going to explain it take 10 seconds, but okay. I'm gonna allay one of your fears. You don't have to shout. Don't worry. Don't worry, Dan. You personally don't have to do any shouting. Whatever choices you made for your character can be as husky or as wispy as you like. That also pans into the MÖRK BORG's protagonists being underpowered and terrified. So right now, an omen is basically, you could think of it like we use advantage and stuff, but there's a few rules for it. You get like perhaps a couple a day, and they kind of maybe recharge each day. I'm going to flip a coin for you right now, Dan, because you get D2 when you start.
Nice.
You either going to get this coin I'm using, the Dead Queen of Doom or the Gates of Justice. It's the Gates of Justice. You start playing with 2 omens.
Oh, nice. That's good.
That segues us nicely into me asking you guys about your characters. We as Dan's mentioned, we kind of rolled up characters using the multiple tables supplied on the website and in the free PDF to get these people's characters and exactly who they are. So without any further ado, I mean, don't necessarily introduce what your characters look like. We'll do that in game. But like, what weird stuff did you get with your characters, chaps?
Oh, okay. So don't describe them yet.
Yeah, let's leave the visual introduction till we're in game. But let's talk about like what was the events of your roles that you got when you rolled on the table and stuff, or your character class.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Ross, why don't you go first? I don't know why I'm taking over hosting. But,
thanks.
Duck and weave there, Cole.
Yeah, just see what I did.
So my name's Brian. My class is Esoteric Hermit. I have... do you want me to talk to you about my backstory, or shall I wait?
If it was the result of a random roll, yes. But if it wasn't...
Yeah, so I did... they have a lovely random character generator on the website. So I used that. And I am a hermit that lives inside a cave. But the world is disturbing him, and the call of night grows blacker than your cavern's gloom, and it's irritating me. I'm bitter and have an inferiority complex, corpulent, ravenous, drooling, insecure shit stirrer. Wow. And we'll talk about whoever just left the room. Yeah.
Like, what if it's like a buboed like plague zombie, and you get rid of it out of the way, and then someone just goes, "Well, I can't believe you said that." Wow.
Yeah. In terms of my equipment, I've got some cool stuff. I've got a whip. I've got some chewing tobacco. I've got a scroll, which I'll tell you about when I...
he's got a scroll, everyone. Any players in MÖRK BORG will know that's a danger.
And the last thing, I have 3 monkeys that ignore me but love me.
No way!
Shut up. That's amazing.
That's the most you thing you could draw. That's
so sick.
Yeah. And they all have, like, They have like they have 3 hit points, and they have a punch and a bite of D4, so that's good.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that on the table. I was like, oh god, I hope these guys get a meat shield because this game is fucking.
Well, horrendous. I definitely need it because I have 1 hit point. I may be dead.
It's just always fly, my pretties, fly.
yeah.
I really want to know what the monkeys are called, but I guess I'm going to leave that till we start the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you will. Don't worry. Yeah, and in terms of my like abilities, they're all pretty rubbish. I've got a 0 in strength, plus 0 in strength, a -1 in agility, a a 0 in presence, and a -1 in toughness. So all around, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Old whippy Brian, whippy bitchy Brian, with his monkey shield and his absolute death wish.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Great. Colin, dare I ask?
My character is a fanged deserter, which is great. I'd love that straight away. Being a fanged deserter is just amazing.
I do as well. I can read the first 2 lines of the fanged deserter's class thing from memory because it's one of the most striking things in the book. If I may, Colin.
Yeah, go for it.
You've always had 30 loyal friends who you can depend upon. Your teeth.
Yeah,
that's it. That's
basically what it says. It's so good. I love that. Disloyal, deranged, simply uncontrollable. Any group that didn't boot you out left you anyway. But your parliament of teeth, enormous, protruding, thick and sharp, have always been your allies. I love that description. It's so cool. I'm snobbish. I'm nosy. My face is covered in pustules, bite my nails, and I save them for later. I feel like his teeth were normal when he was born. And, in his teenage years, he had nothing to do. So he just took a file to them and sharpened them into, just really spiky teeth. That's what happened. And now he's got these kind of little spikes. Some of them have been replaced with like screws and nails and stuff. Like when people have their teeth veneered and they take their veneers out, they've got like those little spikes in their gums. Have you ever seen that? Like that's things like that sticking in his mouth as well, which is kind of cool. Almost like little drill bits, which is kind of sick. Yeah. So he's cool. He's nice. I won't describe him just yet, but his name is Skibbity Rogers.
Skibbity Rogers with the teeth.
Skibbity Rogers with the teeth. Yeah.
And Whippy Monkey Brian.
He's got a few more hit points than Brian. Which is easy to do. But he's got a little bit of strength, not much agility, nothing in presence, and even less in toughness. So we'll see how he goes. He's got a brilliant sword though. He's got the brown scimitar of Golgenbeck.
Oh wow, Golgenbeck.
Dinkin sword you pulled from a military shit ditch, which is great. So
military shit ditch.
Yeah, man.
You're probably not very popular in Golgenbeck then, I imagine, if you took that from a military shit ditch. Or
yeah, probably not, to be fair.
Maybe it was latrine duty and, maybe you were doing everyone a favour. I don't know, Skibbity. That's a question for Skibbity.
Yeah, we'll find out in game.
And finally, the most recently rolled character of them all, Dan.
All right. So I have rolled up... my character is called Terry Ratblood. I wanted to give him like a metal kind of name.
Nice. Well done.
I've added that in there. He doesn't have a class. Am I meant to have a class? Or
no, that's fine. But if you rolled completely organically from start, you don't have a class.
Okay, so he's classless, which I think will fit with this world. He's got. I'm looking at a lot of zeros on this character sheet in terms of the stats. Not a lot of hit points. I've got a stick. I've got heavy armor. I've got nothing else. I own nothing else in the world. I own a stick and I own my armor. He is wasteful, which probably explains his lack of things. He's shrewd, which is inexplicable. He has a limp. He is a nihilist, and he hates trees. That is what life is like in Terry Ratblood's world.
Wow. Tree hating Terry, Skibbity with the teeth, and whippy monkey Brian. Probably about the level of unexpected from the Danger Club playing a game like MÖRK BORG. And better. I could not have come up with these by myself. I hasten to add, listeners, that there is a table to roll on or just choose from if you wanted a slightly Swedish, slightly heavy metal sounding name. All of my players have eschewed that table and chosen Brian, Skibbity, and Terry. That's excellent. Good. I mean, it means that I'm the only guy who's going to be trying to pronounce umlauts in Swedish for the next couple of hours. So maybe they did the sensible thing. Apologies to any and all Swedish listeners.
I'm not going there. We had a Swedish character in Danger Files, and I've been hitting the French character button a lot on the main show. I'm not going for any European accents.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this goes. There are some things you should know about this world, both listeners and the club, because this is the first time playing it. This world is doomed. There is very likely no stopping this doom, so get used to it. Everybody else has. The two-headed basilisks that run their own church have said so. They have proclaimed the world's doom. No one cares about anything, and everybody is coming up with their own ways of meeting the coming apocalypse with eyes wide open. There have been a series of biblical disasters called miseries, and there will be at least 2 more. Necrobel, the god within plague, contaminated crops, and the drops of violently spilled blood, waits for all. So there we are. It's a cheery game. The ability to change the world. With that said, guys, do you have any more like questions or things you want to point out or like poke out or like things you don't know?
Literally everything I don't know. I'm terrified about the system.
Dan thought up that name like 2 seconds before he said it. Like,
yeah. Well, we don't want to overheat Dan's CPU too much. So without any further ado, Dangerlings and Danger Club, let us begin.
Yeah.
Kyrgyz. Desolation rolls over Kyrgyz like a frost-barren wind. The lawless and forlorn trek across its ice-racked expanse, crawling over the plains or cowering in the cracked earth to flee Blood Countess Anthelia. North, where the wind is born, lies Alliance, a storm-piercing spire city of black glass. Within stands a castle like a waterfall of white stone, the throne of Anthelia. She as pale as her castle's walls, as youthful as a drop of melting ice. Some say she is eternally young. The gulls cry the names of knights who sought her hand, a reminder that suitors and signs of Anthelia's age disappear in conjunction. But who listens to a gull? And in Kyrgyz, even gulls freeze in the cold that rolls from the dreams of the Countess, dreams of her unending youth. And in the throne room of Alliance in Kyrgyz is where we will begin our horrid little tale. You 3 are gathered, freezing, near the white slick walls, which are as disorienting as the permafrosted glass in the throne room of Alliance. There are marble busts looming over you with disturbing lifelike quality. Clouds of incense wash over them closely, and several heavily armed and cloaked guards watch over you even closer. You may notice one of the marble busts. In fact, do you know what? Let's get our first roll of the game, shall we? Can everyone roll a presence? So everyone just roll a d20 and add your presence modifier.
Mine is 11.
9.
4.
Great. Colin, your character, you are the only one that noticed that one of the busts is in fact is actually a helmet. All the other ones look so lifelike, but this one is actually a helmet. And you notice after a few seconds there is just a blip, blip, blip. You look down underneath the bust table and you notice there is a bright scarlet ribbon of blood dripping onto the icy floor. This helmet contains the freshly severed head of a knight who presumed to take the Countess's hand. Blood Countess Athelia, at her court, stands before you on an icy sort of like plinth, with several of her guards all around you in the confusing myriad labyrinthine weird permafrost place of the throne room in Allianz. She speaks and wavers in a fierce icicle-like gown, and a crown that looks like it pierces her very skull, her white swept hair trailing all the way back down her body, in a tumble, in a lethal tumble of snowfall down her back. I acknowledge that the gathered here are criminals. They are the forsworn. They are doomed outcasts. The court acknowledges them and wishes them a better life in the bountiful lands of Kurgus. I would entreat them, but first I would know them by name. She doesn't look at you, but you are prompted to introduce yourselves. And whilst you're at it, describe what your character looks like.
All right, who's going to go first?
I think that's up to you, Colin. I think we've established
yeah. All right, so standing there, 5'3" tall, is a bald, grey, kind of skinned man with a really big smile, but he's not showing his teeth just yet. Big wide eyes, wearing like a leather jacket with some big spikes on his shoulders. Underneath, nothing much else, just a leather mankini with with little nipple clamps holding it in place, and leather knee-high boots. Do you know what I mean? With little spikes on the toes as well. Little spikes just coming off there. So there we go. That's what he looks like. A little sword hanging off his belt because it's not going to be on his back. That's silly. Do you know what I mean? And he says, "My name is Skibbity Rogers." Ow!
You just step on something.
Yeah, he sort of tripped on his own spike and it hit him in his knee, sort of thing. And ow, that hurt! I'm hurting.
It's really cold, so when it's like really cold outside and someone flicks your ears, it's like that. So it doesn't really hurt that much, but because it's really cold, it hurts even more.
Absolutely. He's got little leather gloves and like fingerless gloves as well.
Oh, he's got leather fingerless gloves. So he's probably not gonna. He's probably gonna get hypothermia. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, before I was introducing this game to the guys, I was like, think maybe like with us, maybe if Werner Herzog directed Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but with Colin's gone full bondage episode Rick and Morty. Full.
Yeah.
Great, cool.
We don't know Werner's preferences.
It's true.
Exactly.
I think we can guess at them. But
Probably. You might tell us in an hour-long monologue. Good. Skibbity Rogers hurts himself and introduces himself. Thanks very much. Who's next?
Clumping forwards is a figure dressed. I'm gonna just kind of summarize it by saying Warhammer big. Just chonky plate, huge, like his boots. He's wearing full plate armor. The armor is black. It has spikes coming out of every conceivable angle. Every surface is fashioned to look like a skull, or a skull with fire on it, or a skull with its mouth open with another skull in the middle of it, and some of them have their mouths open and have like a middle finger on it. And he has a cape down the back that is tatty, and he has a big banner hanging above him with a picture of a tree on it with a big cross through it. He's holding a stick. He has a skull on his head, and his face looks kind of like an accountant. He's got kind of a little moustache and little spectacles.
I think I've seen this guy at Comic-Con one time.
Definitely. He looks like he spent months on the costume and then was like, I want to shave off the moustache. I have to grow it back. Just kind of stuck with it. Didn't want to plump for contact. He steps forward and says, hello, I'm Terry Ratblood. Hail and metal to you. I am here on a quest to accumulate vast amounts of silver for my evil plans of I'm going to build a palm oil plantation. Wipe out forest. Fuck trees.
Yeah, very nice.
No one asked of your plans, Terry of the Rat Blood.
My plans don't matter. Nothing matters. I'm a nihilist. Do you want me to explain what that means?
Very good.
And finally,
stepping forward is just sort of like an overweight, slightly podgy man. He's got medium length hair in side curtains. He's got kind of glasses that I'm wearing at the moment. Like, I mean, the podcast won't be able, the listeners won't be able to hear, but they're like quite 70s, but they're cracked obviously because it's, post-apocalyptic. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow. He's quite dirty. He's got a really awkward smile, and he's like fashioned clothes out of like animal hides and leather and stuff. And behind him, like sitting on the floor with their back to him, is 3 captured monkeys as well. And he steps forward and goes, hello, I'm Brian. Nice to meet you. These are my monkeys. This one's Bitey. This one's this one's Slappy, and this one's Margaret. I named him after my ex-wife.
Are you checking your notes for those 3 clearly made-up monkey names?
No, definitely. No. I
thought one of them was just called I thought that was one of them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Cool. So despite brooking no prompting whatsoever, one of you has explained your own personal quest, despite what you're being given here, and the other one has introduced his monkeys to the courtroom in Alliance, the capital of Kurgus, the frozen wasteland. Good gents. The court acknowledges these 3 downtrodden people and wishes them, in return for mighty rewards, to perform a quest for the court of Kurgus. A sacred item has been lost to me. An item in a place known as Tveland, in a place called the Hollow Sarcophagus. It is sacred to me, and sacred to my people, and sacred to this season. No! It is a music box. This music box will play a merry tune to light the way of my people. And it contains a magic which will slow the world from the next misery. And in my kingdom, I will contain them all in a crystal ball, an ice ball of delight, and freeze them away from the miseries of the world.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, just quickly asking, how much sort of monetary thing will we get from...
You will be given citizenship of Kurgus. You will be allowed to walk its hallowed frosted streets.
Can I just ask...
You will be shut up. You You make me wail again. You will be given gifts from the Frost Fair.
Oh.
Can we?
And no, I haven't finished.
Really hard to tell.
Pausing. And you may ask a favor of this court if you succeed. Is that not a frozen cornucopia of delights that would tempt even the most damned souls such as yourselves?
May I just ask, what kind of gifts?
She pointedly doesn't look at you. In fact, she's not looking at any of you in the eye. She's just sort of looking around you and then up at the ceiling. She deigns to answer this question, Skibbity.
Well, I just wanted to know, can I have because I live in a cave, but every day I come out and there's always noise and stuff, and I like my privacy, and I like just, sitting there in the silence, and there's some work going on outside my cave, and the monkeys always and then I go outside and there's other people there. I just want to be left alone in a cave away from everyone. Is there somewhere that I could do that?
First off, name the work, Ross. What work is going on outside of your cave?
Well, there's another fella out and that lives next door to me.
You're a hermit. You've got a neighbour who's a fucking hermit.
Exactly. It's bloody annoying. So he's bloody putting up spikes and nailing cats to the bloody spikes.
Spikes? Is it Skibbity? Does he live next door?
And
Me. I live next door.
Yeah, I just want to be away from bloody Skibbity.
Oh, is that the cave street? I was thinking about getting a cave.
Oh,
down
There's a nice cave next to me you can go into on the other side.
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
No.
There is a reason why I have chosen disparate damned souls for this task.
Is it because we're downtrodden and we are easy expendable?
She looks at the ceiling and deigns to answer.
What is she looking at up there?
What did you say?
Is there like something on the ceiling that she's...
There's more frost. There's also a weird, like, mosaic mural of what you presume to be the Countess Anthelia's, like, bloodline, but it sort of only looks like there's one person up there and lots of circles around her.
Oh. Pretty ceiling.
No outsiders must know about this quest.
Oh, is that?
Have you finished what you were saying? Because I'm not sure anymore.
I mean, we're very antisocial. I think it's unlikely we'll be telling any outsiders about anything, really.
I don't really have any friends.
That was the other thing I was going to mention. Thanks for reminding me, Ross. It's a good thing we're in fantasy because Capuchan monkeys in a frozen tundra, they would be dead. I'm just going to put it out there. They would have died.
Oh, they're like the ones in Japan that
they've
like,
got
go
little
in the
leather
hot
jackets
baths.
on. They've got little leather jackets on.
You can't have three Philippes. Okay. She doesn't deign to answer the monkeys, although she does actually look at them. She is the monkeys are the one thing out of you all that she does look at.
Yeah, don't worry about the little bitey boy. Brian goes to pick him up. Like, one of those kids that doesn't want to be picked up, like pushes his arms away. Is like, he bloody loves me. He does. Look at him. He can't bloody take it off of me. Yeah.
It doesn't look like.
He loves me. Look at him. Look at it. And I try to.
Really looks like he wants you to.
I started like scruffing his head, and he starts to bite me. See, he's biting me with love, boy. He's like, he loves me.
He looked agitated.
As you pick up the monkey and this awful display of parentage happens, the Countess leans her head back.
Does that mean we got to be quiet, or?
Find the music box in the hollow sarcophagus in Tveland and return, and you shall be rewarded.
Right, Sounds
music
easy.
box.
Sounds easy.
We can
Alright.
find a music
Yeah.
box. Can't we?
Although I feel it necessary to point out the fundamental pointlessness of this task. As I've explained, have I mentioned that I'm a nihilist before?
You are ushered out of the frozen throne room of Alliance, down towards the steps of the sleek, intimidating castle that is, where there is a depressing and sallow frost fair gathered around the steps. There's no one really frequenting it, but there are traders there looking glumly. As you're walking there, one of the guards with a thick helmet wrapped round with cloaks, clunking, escorting you down to the steps, just turns to Terry and goes, "I'm a nihilist too."
Oh, well, I'd say it's good to meet you, but it's not.
It's horrible to me.
No, it's just I'm entirely ambivalent towards it.
Oh, I'm ambivalent as well.
Oh, well, have an entirely neutral, gradual procession towards the end.
We've got a couple of minutes before we get down to the steps. So,
What's your name, boy?
what my name?
Yeah, boy.
Dargo.
All right, Dargo.
Not that it matters. And then he nudges Terry. Whoa.
You sound very cheerful for a nihilist over there, Dargo.
Well, we've got to march towards the end with our eyes wide open, and I'm doing so under the banner of Blood Countess Anthelia, and it's great, and I can't wait to die.
You ever seen a monkey eat a man's face off, boy?
No.
It's a terrible sight. Couldn't sleep for days, boy. I kept seeing the man's face in my dreams, boy.
Did one of your monkeys do that?
Oh no, they're tiny, boy. They can't even peck a banana off a tree, boy.
Tell me, how does a monkey peck?
Well, they use their little peckers, boy.
Their penises?
You did ask.
I did ask.
These are well trained, boy. Look at them. At the moment, they're just sort of just wandering around, just picking up fruit from little stalls, if there is any.
There's no in the barren, frozen wasteland.
They're just
there is
eating
no
snow.
fruit.
They're eating yellow snow. They're just eating yellow.
Yellow snow. Remind me to hang, draw, and quarter the people who keep peeing near the steps of Alliance. You make it down to the Frost Fair. Underneath the shrouds of the tapestries and the cloth above the shambled, assembled seasonal markets. In the shadows, there is, in fact, one figure, a hulking figure, that speaks from within a shroud, and is mildly surprised at all your arrival. Pushes forward into the meek, pale, anemic light of Kurgus and goes, "Hello, stranger."
Who are you talking to, boy?
Are you talking to me? Or
Could be
sorry.
any of us.
Shouldn't you say
How are
strangers,
you?
boy?
No, everyone's a stranger to me.
What's your name, hulking
Stranger.
figure?
Yeah, what's your name?
Stranger.
Oh, you're a
Oh,
stranger.
your name is Stranger. That's strange.
Yeah. Hello, stranger.
Wait, are you talking to yourself or?
Are you talking about yourself in the third person?
It's very unclear.
Yeah, we're unclear here. We don't know what's going on.
He gestures a meaty hand at the gathered goods. And you may spend some of your excess silver here at the Frost Fair. Now then, I remind you that one of you only has 1 hit point, and there is stuff to buy here. I'm just going to put it out there. Just do as you wish.
Oi, boy.
There are things to buy here. Useful things. No weapons or armor, but plenty of other useful things.
Oi, boy. You ever stomped on a chicken's head, boy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good, innit?
3
Yeah.
last
Alright.
week, stranger.
All right. Well, listen, I'm not a very powerful
Frozen
man.
chickens.
I'm not a very powerful man, and I just wondered if I could perchance buy some potions, boy, like some healing potions, because I'm not a very my ex-wife used to say I was a weak man because I never. Well, you see, I didn't have the upper body strength because I spent most of my days running away, boy. So my legs were very strong, but my upper body strength wasn't very good, boy. So have you got any potions that I can frequent from you, stranger?
Got a medicine box, stranger.
How much is that?
15 silver, stranger.
Yeah, I'll take that, boy. Thank you.
The medicine box comes in a little horrible, grim little tin. The contents inside will stop bleeding or infection and give you D6 HP, which is probably useless to you because if you lose your 1 HP that you have, you're dead. So the restoring of any HP for 1 HP character is largely redundant, but I like that you've bought it anyway. What's your present score?
It is 0.
Cool. You have 4 uses of this medicine box.
Yeah. Have you got anything that brings someone back from the dead, boy?
He gestures to another stand. There is a very well wrapped person-like shape, which is marked as costing 66 silver pieces.
Oh, I can't afford that, boy.
Spend all my money on a stranger.
I spent all my money on an irrelevant medicine box. Oh, wait, hold on. Do you, perchance, want to buy something from me if I sell it to you, boy?
Maybe, stranger.
How about one of my monkeys? Capuchin monkeys are very rare in the tundra, boy.
Ross, I just want to point out that the monkeys so far are better statted than your character.
yeah, right. You're giving away all your hit points.
All right, how about this? Chewing tobacco. My ex-wife used to hate me chewing tobacco, so it brings me back terrible memories of when I saw her making love to my next-door neighbour.
I'm sorry about that again.
It was a terrible sight.
She came on to me. I didn't do anything.
I came inside and I saw her ass up in the air and
we don't need to know the details, stranger.
Oh,
she asked me to come around to nail some cats to the wall, and I did. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, but her and we got into a cat fight.
Just want you to know that I'm resisting the urge to make a nailing pussy joke so hard.
Right? yeah.
Listen.
It's so
I told her, what are you doing? And she said he was a better man than I will ever be.
He was a better man than you'll ever be. That's what
you
she
successfully make the creepy trader merchant who is alone in a depressing frost fair. You succeed in making him deeply uncomfortable to the point where even in this frozen, cold, barren landscape, beads of sweat inexplicably appear on his liver spot dappled forehead. He gestures urgently to the chewing tobacco in your hand and goes, 1 silver, stranger, 1 silver.
Oh, don't worry about it, boy. I'll just keep it.
All right, stranger.
She said to say hi, by the way.
Yeah.
And he takes out some chewing tobacco himself and starts to chew on it.
Also on sale here, there are bear traps, crucifixes of varying things, grappling hooks, dried food, lockpicks, hooks, lantern oil, lard, a ladder, meat cleavers, manacles, metal files, mirrors, poisons, torches, toolboxes, tents, needles, water skins. There's even a couple of shadily labeled scrolls.
Yeah, stranger, have you ever covered yourself in lard and shoved down yourself in a caving system, boy? Yeah.
Like, you get the feeling he's lying. Yeah, I have, stranger.
It's like throwing a penny down a well, boy.
What's a penny?
A penny farthing, boy.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense now you've explained it, stranger. Now I've got a lot more context, stranger.
I'm going to take one of those medical boxes as well.
Well, you
Thank
can
you
have
very much.
Well, seeing as you're a superior man in making love to my ex-wife, you can... you can have this one, if you like. Just tell Margaret I love her still. But anyway, yeah, you take that. It's on me. Boy, don't worry.
Well, I'll get another one as well, just in case. So I got 2 now.
Just to recap, one of the monkeys is called Margaret.
Yeah.
That's the thread.
Yeah.
Amazing.
15 silver to you, Spiky Stranger.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to buy your largest tent, please.
12 silver, stranger.
Fantastic. And I would also like fire or implements for creating fire. Obviously,
Torch and toolbox.
Yeah,
22 silver, stranger.
sounds lovely. All right, I will have some of that, and the rest of it I will spend on. The rest of my money I will spend on lard. Hang on, let me get.
Maybe I'll take
abacus.
one of those lock picks as well.
Lockpick, stranger. I want to break into things, do you, stranger?
Maybe.
Oh, breaking and entering, stranger. They don't normally let me sell things at the Frost Fair that are you clearly used for illegal things, stranger. But times are hard. We got no one at the Frost Fair. We need a music box, stranger.
Yeah. Well, how much is that?
5 silver, stranger.
Done.
There you go. And the lard, stranger.
I've got the massive tent. I've got the torch and the stuff for making fire. And then I'd like 33 silver's worth of lard, please.
Hasty, stranger.
I'm extraordinarily wasteful. So I feel it necessary to spend all of my money on...
You get 6 abnormally large linen-wrapped chunks of lard. Each, I will hasten to add, each one of these chunks may function, if you're not using it to make things slippy, then it may function as 5 meals. Like, if the monsters or the heretics don't kill you in this game, your forced diet choices will. The things you can buy are dried food and fruit and lard, and that's the only thing to eat in MÖRK BORG.
Yeah, I've already got some lard in my pack, which is kind of cool. I rolled that.
Excuse me, stranger.
Hello, stranger.
I've had a look at your items on this desk, and I would like to purchase from you a model bird. Thank you. Model bird, thank you.
Are you drumming this?
I've got the D100 mundane items list.
Oh, you're going for the D100 Monday. I was going for the useful equipment page, yeah. Forgive me.
You do not know us, sir.
I'd like to have this model bird. Can I have a this wig, please? Because I'll give it to I've forgotten her name already. Margaret. Yes, give it to Margaret. And can I have this unpleasant smell as well?
He gives you the things, barring the unpleasant smell, and then finally he just looks at you and stretches out a warty tongue, licks his meaty palm, and then just slaps you on the head. Your forehead now stinks. It's like hairy morning breath.
Oh, this is like my bloody waking up next to my bloody ex-wife. God, it's like...
Please stop talking about your ex-wife, stranger.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
30 silver pieces, stranger, all told. 30.
Okay, I'll have to give you back the model bird.
No refunds on the unpleasant smell, stranger.
Yeah, I'll just say the unpleasant smell then, boy. Yeah, thank you very much.
I'll take one of those scrolls.
50 silver for a scroll, stranger. You don't know if it's sacred or unclean, stranger. Neither do I. I don't want to find out, stranger.
I'll take it.
50 silver.
There you go.
Have you got 50 silver?
Yeah, man, I rolled like 92.
Whoa.
So now I'm down to 22. Right. Sorry, I rolled 97. And yeah. So.
You've got a scroll. Skibbity Rogers hands over a weighty 50 silver pieces.
Wow.
for one of these scrolls.
Where was he keeping it as well? Because like he's wearing like
I mean, I'm just going by the class mechanic. In your team?
Yeah, maybe just all in his gums like a hamster. He's just pulling it out like
I feel like the fanged deserter does most things with their teeth. I think it's an easy gimme. Anyway, Colin, I want you to roll a d10.
Okay. A D10. It's a 10.
As you pick up the scroll and hand over your silver, there is an ominous chime in the back of your head, or maybe just resounding from your back 4 molars, as you take the scroll and feel it thrumming with power. You are gifted with the knowledge of what it contains, and you know that this is the unclean scroll of death.
Whoa.
Jesus.
What is your presence score?
My presence
Yeah.
is 0.
Cool. Roll me a d4.
It is a 1.
Cool. You can use this scroll once a day. And let me tell you, we are all thankful for that. Because
Okay.
when you use this scroll, when you speak its filthy words and bark its arcane heresy into existence, all creatures within 30 feet lose a total of 4d10 hit points.
Jesus.
Oh.
4d10 hit points.
4d10 hit points. You've just been given a very small nuke.
Wow, that's crazy. I feel the power.
The stranger looks sadly over at the scroll and is like, I think I should have been charging more for that, stranger.
I think maybe you should. This is probably worth quite a lot more.
Oh,
Wait.
well, doesn't matter anyway. There's going to be no frost fair, stranger, not unless the music box comes back, stranger. Might as well buy everything.
Skibbity.
Yeah.
What you got there in your hand, boy?
It's a scroll.
Oh, yeah, what does it do then, boy?
It's called. Is it the unclean?
Yes, it's an unclean scroll. And
Unclean scroll of death.
Oh, yeah? Well,
Yeah.
I've got an unpleasant smell on my forehead, boy, so what are you going to do about that, eh?
I feel like you're making a comparison here. No one's tried to do that.
Yeah.
So, Brian, no one's judging. No one's saying
Well,
anyone.
my ex-wife used to judge my little penis all the time, boy. She always said it was small, but I actually think it was actually average, so...
Leave this place, stranger. You got what you came for, please. I beg of you, strangers. Just leave.
Oh.
Go and leave us to our frostbitten nihilism. Take your brand of torture elsewhere, stranger.
I tell you what, I wish I bought a bag. Just stuffing torches and lard into every bit of my armor.
Carrying it.
Yeah.
So you got some torches. Colin, you got abominable arcane power. Ross bought a wig for his monkey.
and a medicine box as well.
Yeah.
That I
Which you
can't
gave
use.
to
This box is
Skibbity.
my favorite. The mechanic is in Mörk Borg, when you get knocked down to 0 hit points, you are out of combat for D4 rounds, and then you come back with D4 hit points. So you actually stand a good chance of being more powerful once you get KO'd. However, it is a dangerous game to play because if you ever fall below 0 hit points, that is, as soon as you hit -1, you instantaneously die. So.
Right.
It's a dangerous game to play, Ross.
So if I don't roll anything apart from a 1, I'm dead.
If you take 2 hit points, you are out of the game entirely.
Like those
If you strike me down in a very specific manner, I will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
With 2 hit points, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, excellent. Nicely done, team. You walk away from the Frost Fair, away from the steps of Allianz and into the unknown towards Tveland, set upon your quest to retrieve the music box for Blood Countess Anthelia in Kurgus, from the hollow sarcophagus with an unpleasant smell, a tent with no bag, and abominable arcane power. I personally wouldn't have it any other way. Congratulations. Do you have anything else you wish to say or do before we wrap this episode up here?
Have I mentioned I'm a nihilist?
And that's where we'll leave it for tonight.
Oh, Scott, thank you. That
was fun, man. Yeah, really fun.
Nice.
Oh,
See you in a horrid fortnight, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.